2-0 Brooklyn. Pistons inside, and Stanley able to score. Bullock rebounds. Stanley Johnson flies down the lane of the basket and finishes wide to Stanley Johnson. Minute and 40 left in the first. Stanley all the way down the lane, reversed it, and he hit it. Pistons go deep to Andre. Joe Harris, topside pass, picked off by Stanley Johnson.
Can he finish?
Against Crabbe, no, he'll make the wide.
Absolutely.
Stanley Johnson, screen from Andre, and he buries it. Stanley Johnson stops and fires and fills it. He's having a game.
Oh boy. Anticipation and a steal. Johnson streaks in for the big finish.
He brings a little energy at the position.
And misses jumper, chased it down, kept it alive, and that's what happens.
Great corner, Stanley. Stanley Johnson drives. He had Zeller. Reverse. Reggie Bullock. Necessarily expect this from the Bucks, who are 9-3 in the second of back-to-back games.
And the Pistons' lack of a shot blocker. Would like to see more of that from not only Eric Bledsoe but others.
You know, the Bucks with just 11 assists at this point.
Off from Andre. Clock at 10. Pulls his way inside on Harris. Shot dances from the corner. Misses to Andre. Stanley Johnson pulls his way to the basket. Double team. Stanley Johnson on a bump on Whitehead. Spins and guns it. Stanley bumps his way inside against Harris. And now Stanley Johnson works against their big man, Jared Allen. Stanley to the basket. Try to go inside to Okafor. Pistons batted away. On the break, Luke Kennard lays it up. Harris's return, his cross-court pass, picked off by Stanley to the rim. Stanley Johnson. Stanley spins to the hoop. Rebound, Langston Galloway. Stanley Johnson down the lane for the strip, gets it back. Stanley Johnson fires from the... Stanley Johnson with the drive. Nice dish. Andre with it. Low teens when they score. Stanley Johnson with a shot. 5 seconds till halftime. Stanley Johnson's shot.
Well, as a starter, both last night and now.
Reggie Jackson to Stanley Johnson. Jacks up. Reggie Jackson bounces it inside. Stanley for the shot is in and out. Stop and go, Stanley Johnson down the lane to the rim. 4:42 left in the third. Crossover drive by Ish. Corner bounce to Stanley Johnson. Baseline drive. And Stanley Johnson driving. And
another fast break opportunity. Stanley Johnson bobbles it, but controls it in.
Or guys involved in a lot of these actions. And in their roles with this team, even if they
metacarpal. I'm impressed with your human anatomy here, Brent.
Thank you. Oregon State University. Stanley Johnson in. Stanley Johnson driving in. He misses a layup. Second chance, no good. Third chance, that's good. Rebound Drummond. And again, Stanley Johnson, aggressive.
The best player in the game on the floor, and the style of play that doesn't allow for him. That shot is impressive for a big guy like himself. And it was a goaltender, but it was good defensive reaction.
Stanley
put my footprint on this game a little bit more to make sure we don't fall behind.
Johnson makes a great dish, and Drummond up over the top for another and-one opportunity.
No, it's not a Duke thing. It's a Phoenix Suns thing.
Stanley Johnson, this time from the out.
Would feel more comfortable going in farther from the basket.
You know, I mean, I tell you, when I struggled.
Oh,
okay. All right on.
One for Andre Drummond. 18 points, 21 boards, and 6 assists for the All-Star.
He was as surprised as all of us when he was scoring with his left hand.
Stanley Johnson with the steal. Andre Drummond.
Pull down rebound. Stanley Johnson drives it right into LeVert. Powers it up and in. Back to the big man, but Stanley Johnson out-quicked him to the ball. Stanley to the basket, lays it up, lays it in. Rebound, Langston Galloway. Stanley Johnson bulls his way to the basket first. Stanley Johnson fires topside, fills it.
I had a feeling.
Smith. Avery Bradley off the iron, tapped in by Stanley Johnson.
On the floor for the first time, rescued it. Here comes Bikes out of Marquette. Johnson out backfield and hits the three ball. With Crowder, Isaiah Thomas, Kyle Korver, Channing Front. Stanley Johnson turned the corner in traffic. Nice little flip. 93-91. That's LeBron's best spot on the floor for threes in terms of percentage. Stanley Johnson going down, intending to shoot the long three, but you can see LeBron was expecting the contact to come, and he did it from half court. Johnson, nice move.
Bradley hiding behind Drummond. They yield the three. Well played there, but how about Tolliver keeping it alive? Stanley Johnson has improved that jump shot. Again, Drummond in the high post. Stanley Johnson, nice reverse. Now, and another steal. And another basket off turnover, and Steve Kerr's got to...
And the Pistons are getting more confidence.
Harris in the corner for Johnson, who buries it.
Played by Poitras, shot clock at 5. Stanley Johnson with the clock at 2, launches.
Blake Griffin was coming to Detroit. They had 100 on sale. They ran out by halftime. They have 200 today, but they're running low right
Stanley Johnson from Blake Griffin, long with the clock at 10. Blake Griffin with the clock at 9. Back to Stanley, fires, fills it.
To make the right move across the lane, George. Marcus All.
Memphis by 2. Stanley Johnson push with Blake Griffin in uniform. Stanley Johnson squares up and guns it. Pistons get a stop. Stanley Johnson in transition to the basket. Reverse Stanley. Down the lane. And scored.
Coming off, getting a handoff, immediately elevating into a shot. He does it as well as any.
Stanley Johnson. Stanley to the lane.